Hello, my name is Josh.
I'm Simon.
I'm Gian.
I'm Travis, and welcome to the first ever episode of The Boys Podcast.
Alright, so you guys might be wondering, how did this all come about? Well, it started off one day when I came back from the Philippines. I took a vacation, and that's where I'm from. I came back home, and I wanted to see one of these guys. And Travis was the only one who wasn't really busy. So he came over, and we just talked for like 3 straight hours. And by the end of all of it, we were all like, dude, and I suggested this. I was like, we should have a podcast. And then Travis got on board, so we decided to initiate all of this. And from then on, he got Josh on board, as well as Simon.
Yeah,
Sir.
this is
Well, you
actually...
see, the only qualm I have with that is the fact that I wasn't invited to whatever you were saying.
Here's
Hey.
the thing. This is a long time coming because we've been good friends for right around 6 years. And
Long
we
time.
always have the
Long
best
time.
conversations and kind of the most out there conversations. So we just kind of put it onto a platform and somewhere where we can share it with all of you out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Gotta make the
Sir.
connection to people.
Yeah, exactly. And we understand that, like, our friendship may not be, special in any way. We're just a group of guys. We're just really great friends that want to share our experiences through you guys.
Which is exactly how it should be.
And with that said, welcome to our journey and welcome to our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Our first segment of today is called Say It With Your Chest. Travis, you explain?
That might need to go through maybe a name change.
No, you're fine.
You're the one who created it. Why don't you say it?
Say it with your chest. Basically, every week we bring a grievance of ours from the week and we talk about it and discuss it as a group of friends. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, who does anyone want to start?
Travis, you may.
Me.
Yeah, you may begin.
Yeah,
Oh,
Sir.
as the host for this week.
all right. Grievances, man. I've no real big grievances with me throughout the entire week. I mean, it's pretty been a solid week for me, I'd have to say. I mean,
You told me you weren't mad at least once this week. You weren't pissed off at least once this week.
not really. I'm not gonna lie. No.
We'll go back a week.
Go back another week.
Here, I got one.
You got
Alright.
one?
Alright, Josh may
One
begin.
of my most common, not biggest, but most frequently encountered pet peeve of mine is people who walk too damn slow.
100,
Oh.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
100%.
Look, man,
Okay.
if you
Okay.
have some sort of disability and you're walking slow, I understand completely. But if you're walking through I'm looking at you. If you're walking through the halls of school, slow as a
But
sloth,
the group of five just
I'll get to that too.
okay.
And then
you're
they stop in the
walking-
middle and they're just
If
like,
you're walking on school passing period and you're walking as slow as a sloth, just mind you, I'm behind you, like cursing you in my mind. I guarantee you.
No, genuinely, and like they make it a point to walk in front of you too.
Exactly.
Just-
No,
Like,
if,
oh my God.
if you have the wall and they're walking towards you, this is what you do. You got a straight face on. You got to get the murder look in your eyes, right? And you look them in the eyes and try to like stab their soul, all right? And then they will split.
Okay.
Hey, I'm just saying. It works for me.
and he said he
Okay.
didn't have a grievance too. He
Okay.
said he
Nah,
didn't.
I
Listen, man.
alright, so,
No
I didn't know
grievances
pet peeves, okay? I didn't know pet peeves.
Listen, man. I'm a big boy. I need my space. And people crowding and walking slowly through the hallway, that pisses me off. I'm like 220, 6 foot. I need space, man. I need space.
You need a
All
space
right.
of what, like 5 feet? Arm's length? Is
No,
that
I
what you
just
need?
don't want to be cluttered next to
So
somebody.
you want to
because-
have the bubble of Edward Post.
Yeah.
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 And secondly, people who walk in groups and also walk slow, you're even worse. You're even worse.
That's so annoying.
And the spawn of Satan are the people who
Whoa!
sit
Okay,
in the hallway, shush,
Pause!
who
Chill,
sit
chill,
in
chill.
the hallway and
Chill,
talk
bro.
while crowding up
100%,
everyone.
like it's so annoying. Like they all just go into a group and block the whole fucking. It's a walkway. You
It's
walk.
a walkway. Don't stand there and take up half the section of the hallway
It's not a standway.
so you can talk.
There you go.
If you're gonna talk, go somewhere where you're not crowding the area.
They have specific places for that. It's called
Yeah.
outside.
So annoying.
Yeah.
I just.
And I rest my case. Move on to the
Okay,
next one.
off of that, Simon, what about you?
I think GM may go first.
All right, pass the torch. All right.
One thing that really pissed me off about this week was the fact that I just kept encountering like so many people who were inconsiderate, and that goes for, and like an example of that, right, is like what Josh brought up. The fact that people just are so damn slow when walking through a crowded hallway. Like, there's no place for that. You only think of yourself and your own self-benefits and your own desires, and you don't think about the people behind you. And that leads to this utter chaos, and that just pisses me off. But that's just an example. I mean, I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty, because if I do, I'm probably going to blow up on this entire podcast.
We don't need that right now.
And we really don't need that right now. But here's just a PSA for the people who are being inconsiderate. You, as a matter of fact, are not the center of the universe. You are not special.
Whoa!
You're not special. And that pisses me off. You're not entitled people. I'm not going to go there. But just like... that pisses me off. But that's not the point. The point is, you're not the center of the universe. All the planets don't revolve around you. And the
We get it, bro.
no one likes you. The point is you're not special. Shut up. Keep moving on. Just live your life, and that's it.
And let people live their lives
And
without
let
you
li-
being a nuisance to them.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes okay. After you saying the entitlement, I actually now you saying that made me bring up something that happened over the weekend, like about week-ish, no, 2 weeks ago. It was really busy at work, right? I was the only server, and then like I had a whole bunch of people like come up to me like, "Where's my food? Where's my food?" It's not my fault that I can't get the food out fast enough. When literally, it was dead from like about 12 to around like 1, and then a whole bunch of people showed up around 2. I started at like 10:30.
Okay.
And this whole big group of people, like about 3 or 4 parties, showed up around like 1:45, and they all ordered their food, and all the tickets came in about. They stopped coming in at a solid rate about around 2, and 20 minutes later, I was still handing out the food to the first orders, and then I have people who ordered around 30 minutes ago. I was like, "Where's my food?" I'm like, "It's coming. Hold on," and like I wouldn't say it necessarily attacked, but I got questioned a lot about like. Where's my food? Why isn't it out yet? I've been waiting 20 minutes, and that's like what our ticket says. You have like a 20-minute wait about the food.
Yeah.
And they just acted so entitled to like,
That pisses
I
me
ordered the
Yeah, that
food.
pisses me off, bro.
That pisses me
Where's
off.
my food?
Look, man, I don't even work. I don't have a job at the moment. But if you don't understand how restaurants work, the waiter or the server is not the person in charge of cooking your food. They have no control over how fast your food gets out to you. It's all up to the kitchen. So don't go up to a cashier, don't go up to a server asking them where's your food, because that's not their job. Their job is to give you your transactions and to serve you your food once it's ready from
And
the
if you're
kitchen.
gonna ask something, just ask on them nicely to check it out.
Exactly, they're still humans at the end of the day.
Exactly.
There's one thing that I like about our generation and like partly of millennials, because they don't really necessarily like human interaction. So they wouldn't necessarily question somebody, but like they'll know in the back of their mind, like my food's coming soon. It's not going to be immediate, but it's coming soon.
Yeah.
So like I kind of like that part about our generation, Gen Z, millennials, stuff like that, because we're aware of the hardships that people are going through, especially now in 21st century stuff, being 2020, new decade, all that stuff.
Roaring 20s,
Yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen.
Roaring 20s.
Prohibition.
Simon, you don't
Simon.
have any?
So yeah, at the end of the day, be nice to people.
Whoa.
Okay, so my big poem of the week was the fact that when you trust someone enough to tell them things that you don't want to tell other people, that's what you expect of them, right? That's why you trust them as friends. But then for some reason, it is like impossible for me to find friends who can actually do that outside of these people. For some weird reason, I don't understand why. I don't understand why people are just so disingenuous when they come to that kind of topic. Like, do you really need the attention of talking about someone else's life that much?
Yeah.
That you share someone's
All right.
that you share someone's secrets like that's just I
It's
don't
not-
know.
it's
It's just
yeah.
it just makes me
It's bull.
mad, to be 100% honest.
Yeah. And this, I gotta say, that leads to appreciation, because you were appreciative of the person you told it to, but then they took that appreciation and ran with it and be like, oh, I'm gonna maybe use it against them or something.
Exactly. Like,
And
I
I-
don't understand.
Yeah. And that's like a big thing for me. Appreciation matters the most. Like, one thing that I've like been knowing about, comic nerd, I hate to break the fourth wall here, but I watched Dark Knight and then I also watched Batman vs Superman, and I was like, man, I actually didn't really appreciate these movies all that much because
When it came out.
Yeah. Because
They're really
at the
good
moment, like I wasn't.
I don't think anyone really did.
No
I
one
did.
did.
You have.
But Dark Knight, yes.
Oh,
Yeah, Dark Knight when it came out.
Oh,
with my
okay, Dark
brother,
Knight. Okay,
we
Dark
watched it,
Knight.
and
But
we're
Batman
like, oh
versus
my God,
Superman.
it's an
But
amazing
Batman
movie.
versus Superman.
I don't like the movie.
I never watched the movie straight through.
Really?
I watched like
Straight
half of it.
through.
Yeah, I
Dude.
watched half and then I watched the other half.
I actually didn't like
Okay.
it.
Okay.
You need
The
to watch
only
it a few
thing-
times
I
in
watched
order
it,
to
yeah.
appreciate every single detail.
They
watched
went
it.
with a different mold. People were so used to like the Marvel movies being all happy-go-lucky. The hero always wins, gets the
Yeah.
girl. It has higher color tones, whereas
Exactly.
DC, they're used to being dark tones. They're used to having a depressing story or like a dark story. And when BVS first came out, people were like, "Oh, I don't like that," because at the time Captain America Civil War was coming out, and they're like, "Oh, that's going to be a big one," because obviously Marvel is more in the movie game.
Yeah.
And well, I feel like Marvel has the hold on movies, whereas DC has the hold on comics and stories.
It's just
Because
that people
concur.
people made Marvel the standard.
Yeah.
And if anything fell below that,
It
it
wasn't
was
good enough.
considered trash. And the thing
Exactly.
is, Marvel is just so high up there in terms of quality and like viewer satisfaction
Mm-hmm.
that people don't take the time to appreciate, like Travis said, like other movies that come even close to that.
It was because, but then like the quality and stuff that comes from them making so much money off of the movies.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But then the movies that don't make as much money can't have that quality because they didn't make the same amount of money.
Exactly, and that goes like Warner
is
Brothers
sad.
specifically for Joker. Warner Brothers specifically didn't give Joker enough money because they felt like it would flop, and look where it is now.
Exactly. It
It
did
has
really
won
well.
so many awards.
Well,
It
King
was
Phoenix,
really
if you're
good.
watching this,
We love you.
I love you.
You are fantastic.
Beautiful. Movie.
I can't name anything bad about that
I
movie.
can't. He's a vegan.
Really?
Other than that,
No.
you're a beautiful man.
Is absolutely
Beautiful
fantastic. But like
man.
that goes to show like the DC label that Warner Brothers had after Justice League, after that was like, pretty much a flop. They were like, "Oh,
I enjoyed that movie too.
I did too."
Well, Justice
But
League
at the
was
same time-
rushed.
It was right.
They should have
it really
developed
was,
the individual
100%.
characters more. Like, it wouldn't have been bad if they took a page out of Marvel's book and developed like the individual
Yeah.
characters more. Like, had more solo movies before like that eventual like Unity.
I
Yeah,
feel.
Unity. There
Because
you go.
They had
Yeah.
the only solos they had was Man of Steel,
Wonder
fantastic movie by the way, and Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman.
But then it was because they don't have like you said they don't have the funding for that kind of stuff. It's
'Cause
sad, but
yeah,
that's,
exactly.
this is what happens.
It's like I feel like studios should also like trust movie directors and story writers 100% and allow them to have technical free reign over what they can do with the movie. Run it by the studio, and the studio's like, well, maybe, and then like maybe they could do some changes, not like fully not allow them to have full creative control over the movie.
Bro, speaking of movies, y'all watch Parasite? Oh,
I haven't
my-
yet.
Oh my
That was
goodness, that
such
movie
a
is
good movie.
so
That's
Really?
such a
Like,
good
yeah, dude,
movie.
I'm honestly a sucker for movies and like
such a good
animations, like I was talking about, that have like really deep meanings and like
That's such a good movie.
what do you call that? When like when they're like metaphors, really all over the
Like a
movie.
social commentary.
It's just so good. Like it really.
It's on
just-
Netflix,
I
right?
can't-
It's not on Netflix.
No, it's not on Netflix yet.
It's
will
on
be called-
iTunes.
Okay.
I feel like if you watch it, like I know you have, like the underlying theme is like greed. You know,
Yeah,
like
and
it's-
social classes.
exactly social classes and greed. And I don't want to spoil anything for you.
Please don't.
Yeah,
So much symbolism.
yeah.
Really?
There's a
Other
lot of
than-
symbolism.
It's so good. I'm a sucker for that.
And
I know
people
what happens, but
people were doubting how great that movie actually was.
And
Yeah,
look
when
what
it
it
came
did.
out.
It won so many
Yeah.
awards.
Exactly.
Only because it's in an international
First-
movie and people
first-
don't.
Fair.
People are too lazy to read like damn subtitles.
First international movie.
to be fair, I don't want to watch a
wow.
movie with subtitles that often.
You're looking at the words, not the picture.
I'll watch Parasite because it's such a great movie. But if it's like some sort of B tier like international movie, I don't want to watch it. If it's subtitles, B tier like
B tier.
Oh,
B tier.
I thought you said like
Uh,
TT. Like, what's BT? Yeah.
Marriage Story.
Really?
I'm
Was it good?
sorry.
I never saw it.
I haven't yet.
I haven't seen it. Really.
I was crying.
Really?
It was insane.
I don't cry for
Adam
that.
Dude,
Driver?
ScarJo and Adam Driver were like,
I saw that one
Ooh.
scene where he was like,
and
"Don't compare
that
to my
dude,
father."
I know, dude.
That's the one thing that's been made.
That
up so
movie
far.
hit so hard because like my mom and dad are divorced,
Ooh.
and to know that they could have gone through that whole like entire complicated process. Huh? Yeah, go for it. Josh has to take a freaking
They'll
call.
be back.
He'll be back, but like, no one likes him anyway.
Whoa.
But like,
Hey, I concur with that statement.
do you guys? No, but for real, do you guys realize how complicated it is to go through a divorce?
Oh, I
No, in one-
It's insane,
It's
and I
crazy.
feel like that movie really highlighted that process, and like, and people take for granted just how hard your parents work.
yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
because
It's really sad.
both parties want the custody, whether it's 50-50, 60-40, regardless, they want partial custody of you, right? And in the mind of a kid, all you can think about is like, oh, my dad or my mom, they don't love me enough, that's why they're not seeing me as much, that's why they're not seeing me as often. But you
Yeah.
don't know like the hundreds of hours
You don't know
they
behind the curtain
dedicated to
work.
like getting a divorce lawyer or an attorney,
Yeah.
and you know, all that nitty gritty stuff. And you know, I felt like that movie just really emphasized that. It was a great movie. Fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
So I haven't watched it, but it's okay.
You should watch it. It's on Netflix. You actually have
What's on
Netflix.
Netflix?
Really, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
One movie I really wanted to watch with you guys over Thanksgiving break was Knives Out. Oh, that movie
Daniel
was
Craig.
dude.
Wasn't Chris Evans in there?
Yeah,
too?
he was in it too. Amazing job. I just couldn't like whenever I heard him talk, I just like can't stop thinking about Cap. You know?
Yeah.
Mm.
You guys watch The Irishman yet?
No,
No,
I
really
want to.
I want to.
Spring Break?
30 minutes long.
Hey,
I know, Spring
that's
Break.
worth it,
Bro, Spring Break.
Bet.
Bro.
Okay.
Oh my god, there's already too many things you have to do in spring break.
No, I heard Robert De Niro was great in that. I mean, he's great in
Is
every
it
movie.
weird that I actually don't know all these actors' names? I cannot bother to remember.
But you
Yeah.
appreciate them as an actor.
Well, obviously, like they're really good actors,
Exactly.
but I can't remember
Yeah.
their names.
You can only remember the characters they play.
Yeah,
Because I guarantee you, most of the time people slip up and say, "Oh, Tony Stark," and like, "Oh no, Robert Downey Jr." or something like that.
yeah.
You know who he
yeah,
is,
it's
though,
like-
right?
It's like that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is about to shank you. You know Robert Downey Jr.
If you don't know God, what are you
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
how do you not know? God?
This
I
is
thought you were religious.
So to further like talk about appreciation, like in today's society, I think what we lack is that appreciation and understanding of human struggle and human contact with each other. Because
they take everything for granted.
yeah, like
Yeah.
man, like
Yeah.
I think the reason I have an epiphany, right? I had an epiphany.
You have or you had one?
I had one, and I truly
I
believe
was
it's the
like,
reason.
whoa, where's it at? Can I see it?
Because I think
You go.
Epiphany.
I think,
I think
so. Everyone talks about how like the world is worse than what it was, say, in the 50s and the 40s, right?
Mm.
But do you
Times
really
have
think?
changed.
Here's the thing: do you really think that what we go through now is different than what they went through in the 50s and the 40s? Do you think it's that significant of a time? Because I really don't think
that-
so. I think the thing that's different is how people react to these things happening outside of the household.
I think there are definitely similarities, but they're just different. Like instead of let's say getting a house in the 50s would technically be like getting a job here, getting a job now. If you think about it, because jobs are becoming so machines, like they have so many machines working with them now that not many like white collar jobs.
Well, I'm not really talking about
Or-
that. I'm talking about like in social settings.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Social
Okay.
situations, because like think about this: if a kid was getting bullied in the 40s or in the 50s or whatever, right, before today's day and age,
Okay.
the way to get out of that is to stand up to the bully, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But if a kid gets bullied now, there's a chance of them being a school shooter.
Yeah.
Well,
Why is that? I asked
well,
myself. Hold on, sorry. I asked myself, why is that, right? And I really think it's because we lost as a society, we lost certain morals in our households, and that's due to like single parent households, low income households. We lost that type of moral, and due to having an increase in single parent households throughout the country, in the past couple decades, we've lost that moral and sense of strength and unity as a community.
Hominess.
I believe that
Yeah.
it's because of the social construct and the governmental construct that now, like the way that things work is you gotta go fast, you gotta keep going, you gotta keep moving forward. There's no looking back.
If
That's
you
always
trip
how
and
it is.
fall, you're done.
Exactly.
Pretty
That's
much.
just how it is. So that's why everyone's always worrying about continuing and being better in the future rather than
Focusing on the
yeah,
present.
rather than
Yeah.
focusing on now. You know.
Why do you think it's
focusing
called
on
the
making
present?
things better
Because
now.
it's a gift.
But I don't see how that correlates with how people behave these days.
No, but it is because like you were saying, right? The fact that there are a lot more single parents and single parent households, stuff like that. That's because of how hectic lives are now. Back in the 50s, you didn't have to worry about a lot of the stuff that we have to worry now. It's a lot. There's a lot.
But
of
then
things
there's
that are
that
different.
paradox. You don't have to worry about the stuff that we would worry now, but what causes the stuff that we worry about now
stuff that we
is
made.
those. I kind of do understand use that mindset of you have to keep going forward, and that causes the single parent household.
Are you saying
But I think
it's
if
gotten
we-
worse? Times have gone.
No, I'm not
quote-unquote
saying
worse?
times have gotten worse. I'm saying how we react. I'm saying the circumstances are very similar, but how we react to them is different because of.
Yeah, I think there's
I think
a lot less of
overreaction
a
is a big thing.
tolerance.
I mean,
a lot less of a tolerance
exactly.
for
I wanted to talk about that too, like sensitivity. Like
Yeah,
people are just so
sensitivity.
hypersensitive nowadays, and
They react too much to. They overreact to certain things.
that pisses me
A lot
off.
of things. Yeah,
Like
that's
this
what I
isn't
think.
intended to be, like offend anyone, right? But let's just say
the fact that you even have to say that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
It's
The
Thank
fact
you.
that I have to say that means that there's gonna be one or two people out there who are listening to this
Oh my
podcast
God.
who'll be like, "Oh my god, what?"
How dare you?
Exactly. But like, let's just pretend, right? I'm gonna be a girl. I'm gonna be a girl, and Josh, you're gonna tell me I got number 7 wrong on the math quiz,
Hey, bro, you got number 7.
bro. Just cause I'm a girl, really?
That's not. That's okay. That's
No,
a
but
way
it's
too
kind of
far.
extreme.
That's an
That's
extreme.
an
But what I'm
extreme.
It's an
I know,
analogy, it's an
but what I'm trying to say is that people take things out of context just to justify why the way they act is all right, and that
Okay.
pisses me off.
Yeah, that makes sense. But
And
like,
that really
Yeah,
pisses me
like
off.
Well,
they
that-
reach for things to be.
They're reaching.
That's a
Yeah.
whole nother that's a whole nother.
No, we were talking about sensitivity.
that's a whole thing for. a
No, I
different day.
understand that. That's a,
Yeah.
that whole victimhood complex is a whole nother thing to talk
discuss.
about.
That's
However,
that's someone
but
for a
the
different day,
sensitivity-
bro.
The sensitivity kind of coincides to what I was saying is that the strong family morals, and I don't want to bring religion to it, but I really think it's a strong Christian-based moral. I know,
genuinely do
I
not
know
think
you're not
so.
religious, but I honestly
Well, you're
think,
atheist, dog.
I honestly
I'm
think
agnostic.
it's a
Oh,
strong,
agnostic. Okay.
it's a strong Christian morals that are lost in today's society.
So
That's not
what you're
out
saying
there
is,
in
if
every-
we go back to religion,
That's
and
not what
all
I'm
that
saying at
stuff,
all.
If I'm
I'm
Arabic,
saying, I'm saying those beliefs or those familial values were like Judeo-Christian by origin.
Yeah,
But if we have those types of values back in today's households,
But-
if there's two parents in a household that are teaching their child to be the best person they can be, rather than
you don't have to be religious.
I
to do
believe
that, though.
I understand that, but those come from religious
Yeah, no. See,
origins.
I
That's why I'm
understand.
saying.
I
That's why
understand
I
that.
classify them as Judeo-Christian origins.
Yeah, that's why I understand like accepting the origin of it, right? But you don't have to go back to those ways to have something like that. It's like
I'm not saying go back to those. I'm saying adopt those beliefs again. Not beliefs.
Morals?
Adopt those morals again.
okay, so then that doesn't go back to the fact that everyone should be religious. Then it should go
I'm
back
not
to the
saying
fact
they should
that
be religious.
it
I'm
should
saying
go-
they should hold those morals.
Yeah, it should go back to to schools and people teaching something better morals, things that make them more tolerant, strength. That should be taught in school instead. Now we're being taught.
no, it
Gender
starts.
studies.
It shouldn't be taught in school. It
It
should be
starts
taught in
with
the
the
household.
household.
Exactly. But that's the thing.
It's when
like,
those things leave the household.
I'm gonna bring up the Joker, right? The
Ooh.
movie, the Joker.
Yes.
Right. You can't blame Arthur Fleck for
Yes, you can.
for being that way.
Yeah.
How can you blame him for being that way?
It's
He
his
was
loss.
raised by a mom who didn't tell him he was adopted, who was a damn psychopath, right?
Yeah.
Who was raised
That's
in a 1-bedroom apartment, right?
Abused by her boyfriend. Tied to a radiator.
Abused, right? But you're telling me that it's his fault that he
No,
ended
I'm not saying it's his fault, but there has to be something already there.
No, but
for
that's what
something
I'm
like that
saying.
to blossom.
It begins in the
Yeah.
household. The school has nothing to do with that.
It's kind of
You're
that
in school
conversation.
half of the time.
You're in school
So
half
is
of the
school
time,
and the household. It
but,
cannot just be one.
but where does those behaviors, like Josh was talking about, like where does it really originate? It begins at home,
Well, yeah, before you start
It
going to
begins
school.
at home and it's facilitated. Or
in
it's,
school, yeah.
it's,
But I'm just arguing the fact
because-
that it begins at home.
manifested at
There
school.
you go.
Yeah.
I think
I guess.
that everything should start from the home, because at the end of the day,
You have
schools
no
can
choice.
teach whatever.
There's a filter in school.
There's
so-
really nothing the school can do if a parent wants to teach a child a certain way.
That's true.
If a
Sheltered
a
AP
mother,
robe.
if two parents want to raise their child to be racist. Okay, say this. Say a parent wants to teach their child to be racist.
What?
The school can do all they want to unteach that, But once they get home, they enter that racist household. Everything,
Yeah.
everything is through the household.
That's an extreme and a half if I've heard one.
It's just
bro.
an example.
It's a good example, but it's an extreme.
Well, let's talk about party affiliation.
What?
You look, as a Filipino,
No,
I can
no, we're not
confidently
doing
say
that.
that
We're
not doing
we'll
that.
do that
No,
next time.
but next time, we'll say that for another day.
We don't want to scare you. viewers
it's a
away.
good.
We're not gonna do that.
It's
right
a good
now.
point too. It's a good point too.
It's a
No,
good
but
point
we're not
for
gonna-
another
We're not
day.
gonna be talking about cross sectionality and party affiliate. We're not gonna be talking about
That's
that.
another day.
Next
That's
time.
No, I was
Next
just gonna
time.
bring up the
That's a whole
fact.
other topic.
I was just gonna
Alright.
bring up the fact
Hold on.
that if typically if you're Filipino, you're a Democrat. Am I wrong?
No, because you're AS. You are wrong.
How am I wrong?
I believe.
Josh?
I believe that it's not.
Josh is not
It's
the-
not. It's not. It's not that if you're
It's
Filipino.
not based
you're
on your
technically-
race.
It's based on
your
your familial views.
no.
Okay,
It's
okay,
based
that-
on your
oh,
experience.
okay, yeah. You know what?
Yeah,
That's perfect.
experience. And if-
Familial views,
If your
right?
parents are old, then
No, but
more
like
Republican.
that's.
What did
I'm bringing that
we
up.
this and go.
No, I know, but I'm bringing this up to argue that it begins in the household.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
exactly.
But it's not about ethnicity. It's
I'm
the
just
way they
saying
grew
that
up.
it all origin.
Because if your parents are more Republican, then you'll be more Republican.
Exactly.
It's
Household.
not about. It's,
It's
not,
the
it's not about
influence.
ethnicity.
Familial views. Household.
It's not about party affiliation.
Anyway, so that's where I truly believe this country is getting most of its problem from. Is
Where did that come
This
from?
Country?
Yeah,
Huh?
just the country.
God. these-
well,
See,
I'm
don't
talking
think-
about my experiences in the country.
See, what I don't think we should
Is
be
the
talking
weakness
about
of the
specifically country.
household?
In 1 out of the 50 states, your experience in the country?
Rhode Island?
No, I just I've watched lots of videos and all this stuff.
No,
I have
even-
never seen a picture of you in Wyoming.
Wyoming doesn't exist, bro.
Wyoming's not
Tell
real.
me, have you
What
ever
is
seen an
it?
article come out that has Wyoming in the name?
Is it-
Exactly.
Is it what's it called? The geysers in Wyoming?
That's Montana.
Okay, no, but what I'm saying,
not
what I'm,
Oh,
what
yeah,
I'm
it
saying
is.
is, I don't think
Yeah.
it should be exclusive to just this country. Why are we only trying to fix America? America isn't the only bad place.
World peace.
The world
Put your
is what
hands
we need to talk about.
Please put your hands on.
Here's why I'm talking about just our country.
Okay,
because
side
that's
note-
where I have
Hold,
experience.
hold on.
Hold up. Do you clap when the plane lands?
No! No! Who does that?
What do you
Okay,
mean?
okay, keep going.
I don't do that.
Put your hand down.
I do that to be sarcastic. yeah. Anyway, that's where I think this country gets most of its problems is from the weakness of a household, and from having
Household.
weak two parent households.
Well, I believe that you shouldn't just narrow it down to a specific area like this country.
You gotta
I think it's everywhere.
widen the
Everywhere.
scope.
If there's
You
a weak
know-
household, the child isn't
I'm
gonna
gonna
work.
move my chair.
The child isn't gonna work out very well.
You know, that's true. That is true. But the reason why I say this country is because that's where my experience lies. So
That's fair.
just like if I go back to the Philippines, they have a different set of circumstances. If I go to Wuhan, China, they have a very different set of circumstances. Yeah, they got their own problems over there.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna backtrack quite a lot back to the appreciation that I was talking about beforehand. I see you got the Lakers hat right there in the camera for everybody to see.
Yes, sir.
I feel
I don't have
Since
my
08.
Clippers hat. I don't have
no, we're not
Since
doing.
08.
Okay, we get
Oh wait,
that.
real fan.
Okay, stop.
Shut up.
Oh, Ted,
You're
apparently not.
nothing
No, I
but a
just
Lakers
said-
bandwagon.
Shut the hell up!
Both of you.
He started
Nah.
liking the Clippers.
Bandwagon.
He started liking the Clippers when Blake Griffin and
Okay,
Chris Paul
buddy.
got there.
Nah. Okay.
Okay.
And you were
can
alive
get
for
this out
one
later.
championship, but you argue all 16.
Two.
Two?
Okay.
More than you?
Oh.
Oh, okay. So you really want to go into
Stop.
You know what? Okay.
Sorry,
nah,
sorry,
I'm
sorry.
gonna go into
no,
this.
No,
Let's not. We can do this later
No.
off camera.
You're
Well,
gonna
I don't
argue your.
appreciation.
What I don't understand is why you guys have to argue about
do this
groups that
now,
you
bro?
put yourselves in. Why do that? Why?
Shut up,
Ian,
you.
we
you
can do this
fucking
later.
individual.
You know what?
Why? You
If-
can,
if
yeah,
you
be
had-
an
Let
individual.
Travis talk.
Hold on. All right. I just want to say, Kobe. I gotta get this out there, right? The appreciation. Everybody has had nothing but happiness from him. Thoughts, prayers, all that stuff. I just want to hear from your perspective, being that you are the Lakers fan.
Also, you want my take on Kobe?
I want your just appreciation, get it out there, all that stuff.
Look, man, I'll be honest. I was bawling like a child when I found out Kobe died. And yeah, no, that's a true story. And to me, Kobe was a role model and a hero of a role model and a hero of mine. That man, he worked his ass off,
Oh, 100%.
and he worked to be the best to be the best player in the room at any given moment.
I feel like.
And that's something so so admirable and so something that people can cling on to and take everywhere in their mindset to be everywhere they go.
There's
He's
this
such an
one
inspiration.
Yeah.
There's this one basketball analyst. His name is Max Kellerman, right? And I feel like nobody could have said it better than this. You know that commercial that with the slogan that be like Mike. You guys have heard of that, right? Josh, you've heard of that.
Yeah.
Be like Mike, right?
Yeah.
And then he went on to say that everyone wanted to be like Mike, but nobody actually had the guts like Kobe did.
That's
Exactly.
100%.
And no one's ever gonna touch MJ. But the fact that Kobe strived for 20 years as a Laker to do that
To be
the best version of himself before anything else that he could be
Yeah.
is like what made him super admirable.
It's as
I
commendable as
went
can be.
around before the death and after the death. I went around asking people, what is the first thing that pops into your head when you think about the word basketball or NBA? And most of the time, people said either Kobe or obviously like
The
the
Lakers.
Lakers or their team.
Yeah.
But I feel like the fact that most people actually said Kobe says a lot about him alone. Like,
I mean, obviously, it depends what generation you ask. If you
That's
ask
fair.
if you ask kids in the 70s, they'd say like, "Oh, Bill Russell," Wilt Chamberlain, obviously. But like,
just like the
but-
people now.
But yeah, us.
Most of the people would actually say Kobe because of who he was as a person.
yeah,
Not just
obviously.
as the player, but on the court and off the court. He was a fantastic
This guy-
This man won an Oscar.
literally.
Actually, won an Oscar.
That's crazy.
And that, I feel like that goes to show with like anybody. If you think about, obviously, like if I asked you guys, first thing that pops into your head when I say Iron Man, you all think of RDJ. Probably, most likely, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, because of you're used to that character, but also you appreciate the man, literally changing his entire life for this role and his girlfriend. But that role alone made him have his life changed.
Yeah, his portrayal of the character.
When we said Iron Man, the first thing that went to my head was
The suit.
that was a prick. Huh?
A prick.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's how he acted.
The billionaire genius pick
Yeah.
over from that. Yeah.
Anyway,
It's just
But
me.
also, I feel like I was talking about this to a pretty close friend, Henry Cavill. I don't know how to- Cavill. Okay, Henry Cavill. He, by far, is the best representation of the looks, the build, and the character heart of Superman. And I feel like, what are you doing? And I feel like at the end of the day, I swear, is he actually gone from the Superman role? Yes or no?
I don't know.
Join the Witcher. I swear, if Warner Brothers loses him, I will actually lose it because I feel like he is the best chance at a Superman. I'm just saying because of how great he is, his character, his heart, the amount of time he put into the character, all of it.
Are you sad about Ben Affleck leaving?
A little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not.
Okay, here's the thing.
A lot of people weren't like a fan of Ben Affleck as Batman.
He played a stellar Bruce Wayne. He did not play a good Batman, but he played
Yeah,
a
that's
Bruce
true.
Wayne with his
Yeah.
life. Bro,
Yeah.
he brought it.
That's
and then
true.
Christian Bale brought the Batman to it.
That's
I just
true.
gotta say that
That
by
makes sense.
far
Yeah.
it makes the difference. It's how you play the character. Like Ben Affleck, his Batman suit was very clunky. I know that Zack Snyder was trying to do the Dark Knight Returns kind of Batman, that stuff.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Clunky Batman, a more veteran Batman, whereas Christian Bale was new to it, aka Batman Begins, and then Dark Knight Rises, all that stuff. But I feel like Christian Bale's Batman, he was more of like, the best way I could say this is slender. He was a very tall man.
Lean.
There you go. Christian Bale's Batman. Whereas Ben Affleck, if you look at the comics of Bruce Wayne, he is
In
broad-shouldered.
the Dark Knight Rises, or not? Sorry, in
Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight Returns.
He is a more broad-shouldered, more muscular built man,
Yeah.
and I feel like that also goes into like the character portrayal. He played a stellar Bruce Wayne.
So going back to Kobe,
Yeah, okay.
Kobe Bryant, he was not only an icon to the sport of basketball, he was a global icon. His reach was truly global.
Yeah.
I was, as a little kid who was born and lived in the Philippines for 6 years, he was an idol for all the kids in my generation and all the people who grew up in the Philippines. You go to any
That's
country, anywhere in the Philippines, their favorite player is Kobe Bryant.
Like my favorite team's the Clippers, obviously, but like I had a Kobe Bryant jersey.
I feel like
Everyone
Yeah.
did.
Everyone did.
Everyone in the Philippines did. You go to China, everyone loves Kobe there. You go to India, everyone loves
Yeah.
Kobe there.
Yeah, even in Japan.
His reach was so far beyond just the NBA. It was truly like royalty had passed away.
Literally.
It was like when Princess Diana died, but I honestly think it was bigger.
Oh, 100%.
It was-
Kobe
That
was
bigger.
obviously bigger.
It was
Yeah.
very much bigger.
Well, we say that now, but we weren't experiencing it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like the global reach that he had, and everybody just saying like, "Oh man, this is like really tragic," and everybody like, I know like if it was on TV and like they were crying, that could have been used for effect. But I really feel like I forgot what
The
news
NBA
station it
is
was on.
true
There was a
about
reporter.
brotherhood.
There was a reporter
And she was
talking.
crying.
Yeah, and she was crying, but she was talking about. I feel like she. I
The
just,
girl dad one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
And mind you, Travis isn't even a big he's not even a basketball fan. Period.
Nah.
But you see, that just tells you how influential Kobe was, even to people who weren't really that into basketball.
Like when I first saw the stories, I was just like you, like, please tell me this is a joke. This cannot be true.
Exactly, and that goes for pretty much anybody. If anyone dies, period.
And if you see the clips of him at his
Yeah.
daughter's game, you could see that he just loved her
loved his
so
daughter.
much, and that he was like, man, she's gonna go places.
Yeah.
And
And
like,
the saddest thing was he was just getting his life started after 20 years.
yeah,
I
His,
know.
he was at his happiest these last 3 years that he was retired,
Mm-hmm.
and to be taken away so abruptly, yeah, it was heartbreaking.
And we don't
for everyone.
appreciate something the most
Exactly.
until it's gone.
Exactly.
His best work was yet to come.
Absolutely.
His best work was yet to come.
And the best way to fulfill that work is to allow him to live through us. You know, have the same mentality that
Exactly,
he did.
exactly.
Just, you know,
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. Like
Yep.
after I finished crying, I got my ass up. I went to the gym, hit the hardest legs workout I ever did, all in the name of Kobe.
that's
That
what the
mentality,
that's what the Lakers team is doing every time when I'm at work. My work is like more of like a sports bar, restaurant, bunch of TVs everywhere, and every time that there's a basketball game on, I normally see that. And then
I
recently,
wish it was like that.
and
They're
then
lazy out there sometimes. I wish
Yeah.
they were like that, but
I
trying their best.
saw the Lakers game the last time I worked most recently, and I just saw them all wearing either 24 or 8, and then I
Oh,
all
yeah.
saw them together, and like I could physically see like the emotional toll in their posture and on their face.
Hmm.
And then LeBron took the mic and was starting to talk, and then I was like, man, I couldn't like hear it obviously because like the TVs were turned down, but I could tell like he was speaking from the heart, and as everybody
Yeah,
would.
he actually was. He was.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's why the Lakers organization to me is so special, man. Like, it's really
The lineage.
the lineage, the history, everything that built up to it is so close. It's such a close bond, and there's people who come and go, but the people who stay and stay for good, they're the ones who we have a bond in as an organization.
It's really no. It's like it's not even. It's almost not even an organization. It's more of like a community. Like if you look
Exactly,
at other basketball teams, tell me when you're gonna find a community as close, like as
far-reaching.
Yeah, like
as
something
close
as close as the Lakers. I don't
Did
think
you
you're gonna find
like
it.
Well, define far-reaching.
The
Like-
world, literally.
The world, everywhere.
Like into the
like fame,
in
basically.
fame.
Like,
Oh,
Fame,
like
yes.
well,
everyone.
obviously it's the Lakers or the Celtics.
No, not even the Celtics.
Yeah.
The Celtics.
The
have
Celtics back
another-
then.
Yeah, the
Celtics
Celtics
have
back
an
then.
extra
The
chip, but, like,
Celtics, yeah, they've affected the older generations.
Definitely.
But modern history, it's the Lakers.
I like.
100%.
Did you see the pictures that
Past 4
like everybody's
years.
posting on their stories, and even like on the explore page of Instagram, you saw
Kobe.
Kobe, but also like at his like not necessarily memorial service because that's coming later,
Yeah.
but like just in front of where the Lakers play, like you could see
Staples Center.
Staples Center. You could see like purple and gold
Flowers.
hearts, flowers, literally stretching pretty much a block
Yeah, it was just
entirely. Like they had, I know, like I heard stories of people like they had to physically remove stuff
Yeah,
because
every
it got
single
so
night.
it got so full.
Yeah.
And like I just say like that goes to show how much they appreciated him. They loved him for who he was, not just as a player, but also as a father, as a public figure, as an Oscar winner. Like
as a role model
yeah, exactly.
for the community, the whole community. Yeah, man, it's very inspiring. Very inspiring.
Thoughts on Kobe?
What do you mean? I think
I
it's all
mean,
been said.
I think it's all pretty much been said, but I mean, like, I'm not necessarily a basketball's fan. I just, it's not for me. You've all seen me play. I suck.
No, we're gonna play like right after this too. So.
Oh
I'm gonna
man.
get some ball games, baby.
No, but at the same time, like, it was really bad. But like, I wouldn't say it hit me hard, but it didn't hit me as hard as like Stan Lee.
And me. Hit me hard.
I know it hit you hard. You're a big fan, but like, I feel
I
like
hit you hard.
I mean, I might get like a lot of people mad at me for this, but I gotta say, like Stan Lee when he passed, man, it was something that you can't come back from.
I was cheering up for both.
I was cheering up for Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Same with Kobe, but
Yeah.
I felt like Stan Lee hit me a little bit harder because we all got used to his cameos. We all got used to him like all having his one-line quips.
I
and
know,
everything.
and that goes with it too.
just-
Like with appreciation, there it also comes like people taking stuff for granted. You know, like Travis said, you always expect Stan Lee to be there for cameos,
And now he's not.
but the moment like the next movie comes where he isn't with
It
one,
was Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, dude, like, and you didn't see a Stan Lee cameo.
I just want like a little
You take it for
poster
granted,
or
dude.
something. I just want a poster like saying missing
know.
or just something like that to like just kind of like keep
I
it
know.
alive a little bit.
Yeah.
But man, that's maybe they could get his daughter in on it.
Like when I
don't
was
know.
watching Endgame, I saw his cameo. I was like, "That's the last time I'm ever gonna see a cameo from Stan Lee."
And it's I've watched audience reactions a lot
people
on,
were
on YouTube.
clapping,
People
yeah.
were clapping. Everybody's just like as soon as they saw his cameo, they're like, oh.
Yeah.
Especially in Venom
Oh,
when he was
that
talking
was-
to Tom Hardy, everybody like went silent. I was like, oh man,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was tough. Yeah.
it's and like I saw
I mean,
posts.
at least he was on Spider-Verse.
That's
He
true.
was.
That's
was.
true.
That was
was a good
such
one.
a nice.
And there was another-
that was a nice
Awesome.
cameo.
There was a post on Instagram. I shared it with you guys. It was like, oh, imagine Old Man Cap was Stan Lee just checking in on
Dude,
his
I
friends.
know, that would be
like,
crazy.
I know they didn't have the time to do that because they filmed the Old Man Cap scene after Stan's death.
Mm-hmm.
So they like tried to get it as far as possible. But like, if that was the case, that would have been perfect. Like, just Cap checking in on his friends, even checking in on himself.
Would you have thought that Endgame was better if that happened?
I mean, that's such a small part of the movie.
That's
that
a
wouldn't-
pretty small but maybe
Yeah.
big part. But at the same time,
It's a small but influential part.
Yeah, 100% is very influential.
Yeah.
If it were to be there, but it's okay. I don't think it would have changed my opinion very much on the movie. I genuinely didn't think it was as good as Infinity War.
I don't think you're as good as Infinity War.
Whoa.
I don't think you're as good as
Okay, so
any Star Wars movie except
well,
for
hold on.
let's
You're
Wait,
not as good as.
To continue, I also feel like there also is the appreciation to the point where it comes clout chasing, because I know for a fact that a lot of people who are close with Stanley, not his family, but like Marvel Studios, are using his Instagram account for promotional issues and just promoting things in general. Because like I could tell to the point where they would start using his account on
Oh, yeah.
Instagram for like more of the clout rather than just the appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, that's really messed up, man.
yeah, it's wrong. It's
Using
100%
someone's
wrong.
image technically to boost yourself.
Yeah, like same with TMZ. When TMZ covered Kobe's death
death.
before his wife even knew about it. That's how his wife found out about it.
Really?
Through TV.
I didn't
yeah.
know that.
really?
I did not.
Yeah,
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
through
Dude,
TV. She
That's-
didn't even know,
mhm.
and she found out on TMZ. That was just, that made
That's
me so
the worst.
mad.
That is literally the
That's-
worst way to find out.
Exactly, finding out your daughter and husband died
In a
in
helicopter
a
crash.
helicopter crash on the
Oh,
TV
that- oh.
Okay, but
before
th-
anyone
hold
even
on.
told you.
But think about it. How would you know other than that?
Agent.
People, yeah,
Something
agent,
else.
someone telling you, coming to your house.
Learning
telling
from the
you.
media is the worst.
Yeah, like are you
way
joking me? They're trying to
learn
make
something new.
No,
trying
because-
to make press out of your husband and
But-
daughter's death.
Okay, I understand that, but someone else would have reported it though. Someone else that would.
Yeah, but I believe that they should have had at least enough self restraint, at least enough respect to not do that.
The
But they
ESPN
did.
channel and NBA channel and anytime
Sports
it's playing
Center.
basketball before any game, I keep seeing at work this rerun of top 10 of Kobe's best things that he's ever done in
That's
basketball.
because-
Every
that's
single
because
team
you're on
has
the
done a
Lakers channel.
tribute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I don't. I,
Sportsnet Lakers.
no, but I just keep seeing that same thing. I'm like, it's different every single time I watch it. So I just find that very good and also interesting because like they don't pick the exact same thing over and over and over and over again. Because like if you were to pick the best, I don't know, like the best Captain America moments from any movie, it'd probably go from Avengers Assemble to maybe like the first suit up or something like that. Top one being Avengers Assemble and then going down. I need to fill more water.
Okay. Sorry. So I think we should wrap it up. It's been about 40 minutes here.
Actually, no.
You have one more
This-
thing to say?
let's
Okay,
continue.
good.
Huh?
Well, if you have a couple more things to say, go ahead.
Going back to that basketball team debate.
Oh no.
No, we're not doing that. There's not enough time in the world.
the world.
Next podcast,
Yeah.
there will be a very heated argument between me and these two bozos. I swear on my life, there will.
So if no one has anything else to talk about, we'll wrap it up over here. And
Leave it with
to show For every week, we want to end it on a high note.
Yeah.
So every week we're gonna go through our appreciation segment. We don't have a title yet, but maybe you could leave a title suggestion down in the comments section.
I feel like we're just gonna call this one pilot.
Yeah, well, yeah, this one's the pilot. So,
Pilot?
so for the first, who wants
First time it
to
airs.
Oh.
I'll
who wants to be the first one to appreciate?
Personally, I gotta say,
The past week or?
I'm talking big scope on this one.
Big scope?
You guys can do this week. I'm
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
big scope. I just want to say I appreciate you guys. You guys and
my
the
God.
viewers, if they're watching this, thank you.
God.
I know it's very
Oh my
heartfelt.
God.
No,
Oh my
but like, you guys
Curtains right
are
here.
literally the best for everything. I couldn't ask for better friends to be here with me, and the friends I have outside of school, also in school, but like not here right now. You guys are literally the best, and I wouldn't trade you guys for anything.
Stop.
That I will talk about that at a much later date, but at the same time, I just want to say thank you guys so much.
You're flattering Josh too much.
Yes, I know.
You know what? Good.
His alpha is coming out.
I'm the alpha.
Sorry, sir, but
I don't know. I feel like for me, one of the things I'm most thankful for, I'll just revert to this week, is how endearing some people are. My birthday's coming up pretty soon, and I've made it clear on like my spam. I don't know if you follow it, but like just everywhere that I don't want anything. Because the thing is,
I hate to break it to you, but I'm not going to be that kind of friend. I'm getting you something. You can't stop me.
Yeah, okay, but like
can't stop him.
Can't stop me.
Cannot do it.
the thing is, I am eternally grateful for the life that I have lived, even though it's only been 17 years, about to be 18. I love all the things in it, good or bad, because without any of those things,
You wouldn't be the
I
person you
wouldn't
are.
be the person I am today.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the struggles because it's taught me how to further handle.
Well, how about you choose one thing so then you can talk about more things later?
Yeah, that's fair. Gotta save the content.
Okay, basically, to wrap that up, I say I don't want stuff.
Stuff.
I don't say.
You want the quality time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I say that I don't want anything, yet people further insist out of the kindness of their own hearts, and I really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
All right, Simon, what about you?
I just want to, because we were talking about parenthood and stuff, this segment, I really
Parenthood?
No,
Or household.
Like household.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I just really
I was gonna say,
want to take
what?
some time to say appreciation to my parents and how much they really done for me and how they really influenced me for who I am now, because 100% I would not be the person I am right now if it wasn't for my mom and dad. So I just want to give like a huge shout out to them.
Household,
Yes.
man. Household.
That's right.
'Cause I
Josh.
Something I want to appreciate, and it's something I appreciate, and I think the viewers out there should do. I really appreciate friends who check up on how you're doing and how you're holding up, because
Just friends or
well, it's friends, family,
Yeah,
whoever,
yeah,
People in
anyone,
general.
people in general.
people who go out of their
Yeah.
way to check up on how you're doing, because I think as humans, we can't be living in our own little bubble, and then going out here and there. I think we should all be involved in each other's lives.
But you can also thank the people who don't necessarily want to be involved but do care about you. Like they
yeah.
don't they
Oh, yeah.
silently ask.
Yeah.
Like they
Exactly. I want to.
you don't think they know, but they probably do know.
I want people to go out there and check up on their friends and see how they're doing and how they're holding up. How's this going? How's that going? I want you to be there for your friends, and not just when it's good for you. I want you to be. I think a true friend reaches out to people,
Tomorrow
because
is-
some people need to be reached out to in order to share their grievance or in order to share their pain. But I want you guys out there to be the one reaching out to help people.
Also, you guys can just like reach out in general if you just want to talk to the person. Like if you want to talk to a specific person, go ahead, talk to them. If you're afraid to like make it awkward, trust me, it probably won't be at the end of the day. You'll probably feel much better about just texting the person in general and saying like that first, hello, hi, what's up? It doesn't matter. Like as long as you make the initiative, I feel like the average person will, or maybe specifically the person you're texting will reciprocate that initiative back, and it'd actually be a fun time talking, texting, whatever with that person. And I feel like that goes a long way.
Yeah, man, just be nice people.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
tomorrow isn't guaranteed, man.
That's true.
Reach out, help people.
Tomorrow isn't
Be
guaranteed.
that person they need in their lives.
The one quote that I
100%.
keep saying around in my head for a little while is is one from pretty popular YouTuber, I'd say, Syndicate. It's life's too short, make the most of it, and that's literally the mantra that I feel like everybody should have. Live for today,
really
not
is.
for tomorrow,
Really
because you gotta live in the moment. Don't worry about tomorrow, the next week, the next year. Worry about what's happening in the moment you're in, because I feel like that is the most important, that defines you as a person.
Yeah.
You know?
Be that person for someone.
Yeah.
And with that,
Yeah.
thanks
Wow.
for listening to our first podcast.
Thank you.
What a one this has been. Wow.
We truly appreciate your support for our growing
Growing.
endeavor
Yes.
here.
First of many.
Long
First of many.
First
First
of
of
definite
many.
First of
many.
many.
You know, we're probably gonna scope this out to also when we're on the road driving too.
Yeah, just be.
What was it called?
Make sure you like.
Carpool combos.
We've
Yeah,
got a lot of
carpool
things lined up.
Combos.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've got a lot of things lined up.
Featuring Travis's or my car.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't have a car.
Yeah. So make sure.
And
make
I wouldn't get in a car with them driving. So.
Shut up! I'm trying to end it.
Hey, you know what?
So make sure you keep a lookout for our new things to come.
We'll be
Make sure-
posting every time when we upload a new one.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And
Yeah.
With that,
And make sure to know that I'm already your favorite.
no, that's okay.
What?
We're not ending on that.
No,
note.
we're not.
We're not ending on that.
I just
note.
want to say, if you're here listening, watching, you know, if you have this on the background,
We
if you got-
appreciate you.
Yes.
We appreciate
you for tuning in
Yeah.
here now, listening to us, because we
Yeah,
wouldn't
You specifically.
be here
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we wouldn't have a following. We asked people like, "Would you listen?" And they were like, "Yeah." So we kicked it off.
And with that, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. And thank you. The boys out.
Woo!
Deuces.